I'll try.
Well, there's
Hey,
Lena.
now we can start.
Yeah, oh,
The boss is here.
I'm gonna reach over you.
The steps,
Oh,
elevator is not working,
oh, no.
so
So
I
now you
made
can't
it
breathe.
I made it from there to here.
Be careful.
So I'm here. Hello, hi ladies. That turquoise is
Okay.
pretty. Oh,
It
thank
is
you,
pretty.
thank you.
You look like a breath of spring.
Yeah. Thank you. Oh my gosh, that climb, I used to do just, yeah, but now, yeah, that, I'm aging, I really am aging.
Was saying, I said, yeah, me too.
Yeah, because now I start parking there, but there's no parking there, so I said, I hope there's no Judy. Because sometimes that's full too. So if it's full, I don't know what I would have done. But anyway.
I watch more parking everywhere in
Yeah,
the
that's
city.
true.
Right. With all the hillside, it's almost impossible though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I made it and I went away
I'm trying.
and I saw a friend, so to say hello, how are you or something.
Have you tried to go through Gatlinburg?
Oh,
Is
you
it
don't
bad
go
now?
anymore.
We went, it was probably 2 years ago, but there were so many people.
Yeah.
That they couldn't stay on the sidewalk. They were walking like they had spilled over into the street, you know, and that's a little narrow, 2-lane street. Street anyway,
So this bumper to bumper.
bumper to bumper, you couldn't move. I swore I'd never go back.
I think that's what discourages us to go
Yeah,
there
yeah.
because it's just too much going to the city. That
does
because
get
it's
crazy.
a pigeon forge.
But I was thinking, you know,
You got
there's no
wax.
parking. I mean, they park on,
Yeah.
they park on the street on one side there, but it's just, the people were just spilling over.
Yeah.
I've never seen anything like
Well, that was actually.
It's that
it.
way.
Downtown.
Every time I go, it's that way.
My
I
sister
mean,
lives in
even,
Cedarville.
and this was even in off season.
Yeah,
But
My
anyway,
sister lives in Cedarville. She gets, pays and tickets. And it's really.
Okay.
Does
Well,
she live
Every-
there, you said? How is it, how does she, I guess she knows back roads to stay away from that area. They don't do that.
She told me I've got back roads I can get in now there,
Okay, you don't go to
especially on weekends.
those visitors that don't know that.
Yeah, visitors.
There's a two little side roads that people used to get off. Now they're,
We went to a meeting one time in Maine.
we're waiting on the
waiting for somebody.
leader to,
It's just, we're just not gonna have video today. I'm gonna keep trying, but it's just not working and it should. Okay.
Maybe one day you and I will start.
Oh, thank you, Lena.
No, I'm not doing that.
it's,
Oh, I already made up my mind who's president, who's secretary, who's,
She's
and I
perfect.
said, and I said, she lives in New
I would have
York.
no idea.
We do still have audio.
Financial-
You're not muted.
at this time, I'd like to call the meeting order even though we're late.
I apologize.
And I apologize.
Okay. This time, I can have approval of minutes.
I
Motion
moved
to approve
to-
the minutes.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, motion been approved. Second,
Lena, do you want
A
to
second.
okay. And the treasury report,
Oh, it's my turn now. I haven't done anything.
Just rushing you.
I know,
Sorry.
yakiti, just lean for you. Okay, these are 2 files, please just pass it around.
One of each.
One of each.
One from the
No,
top
no,
one
no.
and one from the
For
bottom.
one. Okay, take one of that, Cheryl, and then one more, and on this pass. Thank you very much.
Maybe it'd be easier to pass those one at a time.
Yeah, and let me just sort out this here. Okay. And
We should.
let's see, it's going to be good in math.
very good.
Didn't get one what? Got the state fund?
This second one.
Yeah, to go see Green and
We'll share.
they were all people with this. Everybody has a copy?
Yes.
Okay, we'll start with the one that's thick. That's where we have our general fund. Okay, checking is 948,000 under 135.58. That's what we use for all of these payments that we do. Business preferred money market is $505,090.90. And a community trust CD is 103,887.19. And petty cash is 1,380.38 cents, 35 cents. Now we deduct the taxes receivable. So let me see if I could get this by my phone for the total. 02, okay, 13. Yeah, I probably need this one for the total.
$1,557,113.67.
Okay, say that again.
$1,557,113.67. That's
Okay.
without the state fund.
Without the state fund. Okay, now we go to the state fund, which we will add to this fund. And so later you go ahead and add this one, okay?
Okay.
Cash in bank is 33,418.43. That's
180.
418.43.
Got it.
3341.843.
$1,590,532.10.
Okay, that's for our totals.
You need that?
So the total of this type.
Total, I got part
For
of
the
it.
total.
1,000,000
Okay,
500.
okay, I got it.
Thank goodness for reserve funds. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, yeah, she totaled it already. She gave.
No questions?
Oh,
Just, okay.
30.
The
I don't know
first
where it
one,
is on this.
on the second page of this one, Ian, is 33,418.43.
There it is. They stapled it.
Okay, it's on the,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's stapled backwards on that one.
oh, okay.
Second page is the first page.
Oh, okay.
With it.
So
Okay.
what total did we get then, Alina? No, you want me to total it? You already
I
did,
got
but
It's
Well,
1,590,000. 532.
look,
okay. For a total, okay, now we add the general account and the state fund. And we come to a total of 1,590,532.10. We got it.
any questions? Not, I need a motion to approve.
Motion to approve treasurer's report.
I'll second.
Director's financial report.
That should have been when you sat down. I'm looking for my copy.
Here.
It's a long one today. Looks like this. Oh, that's the Amazon report. It goes with it. That
Oh,
one, yeah.
okay.
This one? Okay. We had a lot of deposits this past month. Sheriff's Ranch, these are into the general fund until I get down to the state fund donations and petty cash and square. So into the general fund, we had sheriff franchise tax for $2,699.55. Sheriff's property tax for $10,400.82. Sheriff's property tax 2021 settlement was $17. The clerk's delinquent tax was $892.06. The clerk ad valorem tax was $9,970.17. I had another clerk delinquent tax for $2,839.08, and another ad valorem tax for $7,868.68. We had some copies made for a genealogy patron that lives in, I think it was Missouri or Kansas. And we mailed those. Oh, she sent a check for $5.56. We had, and this goes in, this next one is into the state fund. We had 6 donations, blood donations, including another one from another payout from the GoFundMe from Kim Michelle. And that totaled $5,246.16. And then I deposited into the petty cash from photocopies and faxes, and I can't remember what else, copies of printouts. And that was $401.50. And then we had Square, when people pay with their debit card, we had $7.91. So total deposits were $40,348.69. And then we made some purchases. This is also a long one today. I mailed the ARPA grant final report. That's the grant that paid for the benches and the Mevo cameras and a few other things. And I mailed it with where they sign it at the other end, certified registered mail. And that was $3.13. We had to stop and get gas on the way to Owensboro for the Kentucky Public Library Association conference, because the library's gas card only works locally. So we spent $33.58 on the way to Owensboro. 2 nights, 2 rooms at the Holiday Inn Riverfront in Owensboro was $654.20. We got gas on the way from Owensboro for $27.92. Tessa bought some programming supplies at Target for $21.89 and some at Five Below for $71.83. I mailed you board packets, and that was $7.92. Lunch today is coming at around 12:30 when we stop to set up for Susanna, who's coming. And that is $101.76. And I had 3 Amazon purchases. I'll go through those in just a moment. We bought some programming and janitor supplies at Walmart. Those are the next 2 after Amazon. That was $15.55 and $108.56. I wrote a check to Renew Mother Earth News magazine and a book. That was $16.95. And then we purchased a Taste of Home cookbook for $10. And I got 3 more sets of the Letcher County Schools books from Shirley Sexton for $240. And then I renewed the post office box for another year, and that was $136 even. So total, that was $2,083.84. And then Amazon, this is the Amazon details. It's this one, Lena.
Yeah, okay, I have it.
This one should have been right below your, yeah. I've got an extra one if you can't find it. It was on the table when you sat down. So April 7th, we purchased a DVD, books, and a toner for my printer in my office, and some programming supplies. And there was a coupon. The DVD was $13.99. The books were $258.42. The toner was $47.99, and that was a 2-pack of the 2 toners. And then programming, which was, it was a few little things like resistance bands for yoga and some other stuff, and that was $64.90. The electronic coupon was $10, so altogether that purchase was $375.30. And then we bought another self inking stamp, this one for here. To stamp the books with, and that one was $14.98. And we made another purchase from Amazon on April 11th. And that was $143.92 for programming, $32.39 for building maintenance, and $67.96 for book. For that purchase was $244.27. Altogether, it was $634.55 at Amazon. You guys have questions or want to know what any of the charges were specifically?
The building might, what was that?
We were given these tables, like the one out there,
Yeah.
that's got electrical outlet in the middle. We ordered a cord mat that the cord tucks in, yeah, for safety.
Good deal. Thanks.
And we have a motion to.
Yeah. Okay. We have a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Make a motion second.
Okay, and I have some autographs.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carried.
Thank you.
No.
Yeah, vouchers and then the head library. And I have a microphone just for you guys, so. I'll hand it to you in just a second. So vouchers, which way do you want me to start them? Doesn't matter.
No matter.
Do you have any questions about the vouchers while those are going around? Let me know.
Thank you.
I'll come back to you. Thank you. Thank you, H.
Sam's Club, why do we belong to Sam's Club?
Pardon?
Why do we belong to Sam's Club?
So we can do purchases of things in bulk like toilet paper and paper towels. And they don't charge us to ship them here because we have the larger membership.
Oh, okay.
And I mean, the membership is in my name because they won't do it in the library's name, like they can't do it in a business name, which I think is odd. But
Did they change policy or something?
they said it's always been like that.
The Netherlands, we did institution.
It's a library's Sam's Club, but they had to have my name to put on it. So I went once and I got the credit card and now they send me they automatically charge me the renewal fee, which I'm gonna shut off that credit card so it doesn't keep happening.
And you also enclose your tax exempt. with it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, when I purchase online for the library, it's automatically in there. But if I'm buying for myself, it's separate and I tell them it's not tax exempt.
Mhm.
Those were in our packet.
The cover sheet is in the packet.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Any questions? If no questions, I need a motion. About it.
I make a motion.
Oh, you made the motion.
Second.
You got a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Good librarians. Who's first?
All right.
Well, we set our normal activities. Again, I came up from the painting class and we've had a display on the environment this morning. Some of the environment. And nothing all that different. One of the ladies that used to work on the program for older workers at our library for 3 years passed away, and Missy went to her funeral. And Brenda and I went to, they had by invitation and banquet at the Small Faith Foundation to thank people in the community in the area for helping the flood. And she and I attended that on Friday, which was very nice. And we enjoyed being there. They gave awards to our mayor, to the police chief, and to several individuals there in the community who had helped with sorting and storing and moving and all the stuff that came in there to be given away. So it was really nice. We were glad to be able to go.
Well, we finally got to have a meeting of our legislature in the district. And we were pleasantly surprised, more people on the stage stuff than we thought. So we are going to be able to get a little bit of it back, but it's a lot of photos and things like that. Some of them we can't even hear. But we're just hoping maybe through contacting people on Facebook and through sending them at Black Today that, you know, we're putting feelers out there. So we'll gradually get more stuff back.
Sam, could you put that in the paper and ask for her?
We had a story.
Hey, I know that story. That was great.
Yeah, we should put that in.
Okay.
But they're just, you know, we're asking for some additional things. Yeah, Sam came down and took some pictures.
You did an excellent. That was.
He did a good article and he was worried about spelling my name. He said he did.
You just give her a problem.
That's okay, I did spell everybody in the world. No problem. We're hoping to the last Wednesday of this month to have our first book club meeting back. Everybody's getting really antsy over that. And we're just gonna have to get together and maybe some food, you know, because that always helps soothe the soul.
But not too many drinks though.
No, we'll try. And we, or I assume one of those Amazon charges was where
Yes,
with this first book, we're just gonna give them.
they're waiting for you up there.
Yeah, take them back. But give them a copy of the book for May, and then we'll start back with our regular discussions. We thought we just discussed what people's memory, but it's just gonna be good to be able to get together. Blackie Days starts at noon on the 12th of May and goes through the 13th. Then it goes carries on to the 13th. It'll be the first time I'll probably be able to see what goes on outside because I won't be able to keep the library open. I will be there and I'll have a key if they need more. But sometimes we have to run more programs or something. So I'll be there. If we need to go with something. We're not opening it for our broken bathroom thing. Did go to the conference with Lisa and Regina, and we found out that you can get a lot of stuff in one van. But it's always just good to have that opportunity because, like I've said before, a lot of times things that they bring up, my library does not have either the funding or the room for it. But we can always pick little things that we can do. We can get ideas, and it's just good to talk to other folks and find out what else is going on in the library. And this, we may need to at some point look into what's going on with their sewer system. Well, I don't know what right now. it runs directly through under the old community center. There's some questions right now about what's gonna happen there, so we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, it's connected to the community center.
Yeah, it's connected, but the line goes right under where if that building's torn down and they put a concrete pavilion, it will cover up our sewer line. We have enough trouble with sewer line as it is. But it may just be a matter of having to move the line.
Oh, is it a septic tank or is it an actual sewer?
It's a septic tank,
Okay.
but I don't know where else they put it. Because
There's no room.
we're there on the river,
Yeah.
but we will have to wait to see what
Is that
the
going
county
in?
decides about the center. Before we'll know what has to be done.
Where's
I'm
this-
just throwing that out as something to keep in the back of your mind.
Yeah.
You may be facing it, so.
Is there something that the architects need to be aware of, I guess, once they start building, because they're going to.
Well, I mean, no, because it'll run out of our building, but
Where it's running into.
it's
some
running
of
into
the
a
building.
septic system now.
Mhm.
But if, it won't have to be moved, it's just according to what's done, but it'll all be outside, it won't be.
Are you saying they may tear down the community center?
That's-
That
That's
was,
a distinct possibility.
that was the plan, and then there's been, I'm not gonna get into that side.
Yeah.
That's not my fault, but, anyway, there was.
But whatever they do will result
One,
in.
one option was they were going to take the old water plant that sits there like a dinosaur in the little blanket.
Yeah.
And they were going to just strip it and make a new community center there, because it's just high, elevated enough, it'll take out the floodplain.
Yeah.
And there's no way if they put it back where it is, that they can afford the group that leases the center would not be able to afford the flood insurance. So they talked about if they would be willing to use the water plant, then they would build an outdoor pavilion there, which would be very nice
That would be
for
nice.
people like. Like I say, we'll have to wait and see what goes there. We're just glad to start getting things at least, having sneaks, even though we're walking around boxes of books. I'll bet. Just glad to see. But we are having a few more people coming in now that it's pretty weather.
Now that they realize you go around
Yeah.
the side.
People will call and say, I'm out here, how do I come in? And we got a no on front door, it's just got a side ramp. So we're there.
They forgot how to read.
Just wait.
Yeah, we're there, but we, just. Do what we can.
Stand up and show us your shirt. I really think that's something,
I really
we all need to wear those occasionally.
I like.
Got reading.
Reading gives us someplace to go.
Stay where we are.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Very cute.
And by the way, on that note, I did see the card that came today about the kind of shirts. If an order is placed for those, that'll work with it. So
Okay.
really, I'm all about that.
Yeah.
Me too.
Same. Okay.
Okay.
Well, today I got to go meet with Susanna and let her go through the library and do some last minute measurements, stuff like that. And while I was up there, I seen that the church next door had planted the flower beds and
No, that's wonderful.
they trimmed the roses, mulched the beds.
Oh, that's
They did a
wonderful.
really nice job.
That's nice.
They did a really nice job.
That is so nice.
It's the church that we share a wall with. Do you know the name of it? I think it's Church of God.
It is
Neon Church of God.
Church of God, Mark Wagner.
Is it Mark?
They're a
Yeah,
really,
yeah, yeah.
they're a really good
That's so
church.
It's the church where the longs go.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. Where you go into the church right from the
Behind,
back
yeah.
in the building.
Yeah.
That's Church of God.
Beautiful. But,
And they're back
yeah,
in
the
their
flower
church
beds
building too.
Are beautiful. I wasn't expecting to pull up and see that. It looked really good. It was
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopeful.
But good time of each, the turn picking where we eat. Every-
Top priority.
Yeah.
Of course.
Of course, that's what I do.
It was a hard decision, but I managed to make it. But we did learn a lot. And we did enjoy the guest speakers a lot this year. They were so good. And we got back here and we come in and there's more donations and more books. And they keep coming every day. You get phone calls every day.
That's neat.
And yeah, people really want to donate. They are eager to send us books. So
Wonderful.
and Ian and I had Kinsey has also helped do displays, book displays. We did some up front. That was really good to get to do that, get creative with that. So what was it, Ian?
Read, return, repeat.
Good. That's good.
Kind of a recycle. But that was fun. We've been just doing everyday activities and checking people in, checking people out. It's good to see the weather and see if people get out and come in more. So it's things are getting better.
And people are still sending papers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are.
Over the reason and
They are. Yeah,
almost present.
it is.
Ian, you want to go while I move that microphone?
Sounds good. So in the last month, we've done a lot here.
No kidding.
We've cleaned up, we're getting a lot of displays done. We're getting a lot of donations in. We've gotten donations of furniture even from Madison County. Yeah. They brought us tables and everything, so that was really.
And where that table came from.
Yeah, that's actually where that came
I
from.
like the recharging ports.
Yeah.
We have another one of those that needs some work before we put it out.
I put up new signs in the kids section. I don't know if y'all saw those round vinyl decals. I thought those were really nice. It helped fill up some space on the walls that was blank. Yeah, good. But Tessa has started doing Eventbrite to sign up for paint classes for people and stuff. And that has saved us a lot of problems with getting people signed up. It's a lot easier. You go on and you can sign up in a few seconds. And it also, it makes it to where if somebody leaves, then another person can join right away and not have to calling. Yeah, not have to keep calling and trying to figure out if we have spaces. But yeah, we've done a lot. It's been really nice, and
Are you running out of space for books?
we're running out of space for donations. With the elevator down right now, we can't take them downstairs as easy, so there's really just not enough storage up here.
There's no storage up here.
Yeah, there's no storage up here. I mean, they're in the front window, and
We're gonna try and make a wall with the donation books and have a community art gallery in front of the wall. So that,
That'd be nice.
yeah, we're gonna cover the boxes with like tablecloths too, so it doesn't.
Are those the neon books or?
yeah, all of those books up there are for neon. We have and black, yeah, but we haven't gone through them yet.
The ones that we have gone through and have been processed already and are ready to go to neon are downstairs. We've been taking them down one box at a time. And when we have young and strong volunteers, we ask them to take some boxes down.
A lot of those boxes up there are ones that were in our free book giveaway. We took it down temporarily. We're going to leave it down for a little while and then try to put it back up, see if we can get rid of some more.
Good idea.
But yeah, it's going really good right now.
I relieved you of some.
And we appreciate that.
And we got a new janitor.
Oh, you
Yeah.
do, so wonderful.
Right after, maybe a week after the last meeting, Tabitha came and said that she wasn't gonna be
Good.
able to do both.
Uh-huh.
So she left, and Tabby Baker Cornet, some of you guys might know Tabby.
Heard that name, but I don't.
She's gonna stick her head in when she gets here. She works for the post office in Letcher right now. And for us, she just started this past Friday, and she's gonna be good, I think.
Still a little bit understaffed here right now. It's been a lot, you know. Scarlett's having to do a lot between cataloging and trying to help work the desk and doing stuff like that. And hopefully, you know, once we get all the staffing stuff fixed and sorted, it should be good.
What kind of have you done for staffing?
So as you know, right now I'm temporarily head librarian here.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'd like to make that permanent. But we're gonna need to fill positions.
Has there been any progress on that?
I was working on things that had to be turned in, like by specific dates, and now I should have enough time to sit down and look at the head librarian position announcement, what all the job duties are, and adapt it some, update it some, and then I'll put it internally, and depending on who gets the position, we'll have to fill their position.
So that'll be ready by the next meeting.
Yeah,
Okay.
What other positions?
that's it.
Well,
Well,
we had the
we're gonna have a position open at Neon when it opens back up, too, actually. We'll have a part-time circulation clerk and a janitor position.
How about Brian? Are we done? Can you tell us anything?
They always
over?
forget about me.
No, we're
No, we ain't got to
Ian,
yet.
are you done with your,
Yeah.
with your
Okay.
report?
I
Okay,
know,
They didn't forget me. I got some donations too.
yeah, go ahead, Brian.
And I got that, I lost a lot of papers, lost contact with them. I lost contact information and everything. I got back in touch with some of them. See them.
Could you possibly do a schedule?
Yeah,
What community you're gonna
what-
be in?
There's one posted on the website.
It was, I took it down when
okay.
we didn't know what was going on.
I've been talking, we were talking outside there, and would it be possible to put one of these, like the first of each month in the Mountain Eagle and the Community Press? I think this is great.
Like the whole calendar?
Yeah,
Yeah.
just like this, including the
It would be
bookmobile.
what, like a quarter page?
And
It
then,
wasn't-
if-
No, it wasn't even quarter page.
I checked, because he asked me about it, that was $78.
Okay.
I think that'd be great, because not everybody
Well,
has
it-
computers on Facebook.
It would be bigger once we add the other branch
Yeah,
events and the bookmobile. So once it's all done, we can, yeah, but the price might go up a little.
how often do you run that bookmobile?
4 days a week.
Okay, do you go to a certain community on those days?
Yeah, it's something like a 2-week cycle.
Okay, well, then you could put that on the schedule and people would
Yeah.
know when he's coming.
Yeah, because
I
there was
know-
a. Okay.
I know it's not as important now, but when I was a
No,
kid, I
it
loved
is
that
important.
bookmobile.
It's very important.
It is. Phoebe.
yeah. When I was,
Bookmobile was my favorite thing in the world.
No,
when I was in Prairie County, I was in a rural school, one-room school, and that the bookmobile came once a month, and that was, I paid another guy a nickel to get
Extra books.
the book, and so I could read it. So I could check 2 books out instead of one. But I noticed in here that the bookmobiles, I think it's supposed to be going to daycare centers and nursing homes. Do you do that?
I had before, but I can't just show up, they won't let me in.
and also with the
Contact.
pandemic, I guess that's.
Oh,
Yeah.
that, they said, well, if we need you, we'll call you, because they won't let you in if you just show up.
You can go to the, what's it called? The
Oak Tree
Oak
Academy.
Tree Academy. Yeah.
And there was one time that the bookmobile.
I know
Yeah.
they're there. so.
Well, you go
But
into
at
the
work-
apartments, yeah,
Yeah, and
several of the stations.
we've taken
Well, you
stuff
go
over
around.
to the jail also.
Yeah, oh, I did. I know at Lee, when I was an admission director at Lee's College, we had the library went to the prisons there in Bloomfield. And she actually took a load of books every week to the prisoners and they were,
It's housing
And-
projects, housing projects.
yeah, the housing project being great.
Yeah, I know. I've stopped through there.
Yeah, they're pretty close, though. A lot of them can walk if they don't have transportation.
Yeah,
But there's one at Jenkins and there's one here.
There's one in Neon.
and one in Neon.
Is there?
Yes.
Yeah.
There you
it
go.
is. One
Goose
in each.
Creek.
Did you know that?
no,
I didn't know that. But that's what Goose Creek is? Oh, okay.
Mountain Breeze at Jenkins.
Mountain Breeze.
There's
That's
all
a big
kinds up
one.
there.
So they're housing, I thought they were just apartments, people rented.
No, they're.
No, it's the housing bit.
Did you not know?
Lots of people up there.
yeah, once we get that and get it printed up.
Yeah, they are.
then people
They have no
will do it.
transportation.
That's a good
most
way
of
to
them.
serve a lot of people in
Right, yeah.
one little trip.
And there was a piece in, Speak Your Piece, they were asking, when is the bookmobile ever coming back here?
Yeah, I answered that the following week because
It's hard to work with speaking piece. You
Yeah.
can't just.
Yeah, but I said,
Answer
I mean,
not.
you know, it's.
yeah, well, that sometimes to respond and speak your piece is the only way to get through to somebody that
Yeah, that's
says
true,
something.
that's true, that's
Yeah.
true.
That's like I say,
Yes.
nobody has internet and Facebook, so.
Yeah,
Yeah, they look
they
at
do
the,
the
yeah,
newspaper.
and that's a way to.
And most of these
express
people
their
don't have
idea.
transportation,
Yeah,
so.
Yeah,
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 so,
that's the big thing.
that's a big thing, yeah.
Yes.
so if there's a regular schedule, like they're saying, you know.
Yeah, and
They
once it's
look up.
printed up, word of mouth gets around and I think, if we do this to most newspapers, it'll really help the library. Because we're here to serve the people.
yes,
Yes, we
And if we
are.
don't serve the people, we're not doing our job.
Mm-hmm, yep.
And,
You know, that's a good way to get people, if they do have a car and live in these, areas, maybe they'll start frequenting the library in
Yeah.
Jenkins, or they'll be regulars.
Like I said, there was one time, the bookmobile park in Walmart and had a big sign up for a library card.
Yeah,
And people
yeah,
came.
yeah.
I know,
You were not here yet. at the
Yeah.
time.
Do you have a sign on the vehicle that says bookmobile?
we
Yeah.
have magnets, but they don't stay very well. So I was, during the conference, I was looking at the vehicles, other outreach vehicles that had come to Owensboro. And there was some darker cars that had wraps on them, which is,
Yeah.
and I was gonna see how expensive that would be for the
I
van.
can check that.
Yeah,
One
that
has it,
needs
does
to
race
be there
cars.
too.
I'll check, see him, Mississippi.
Okay, is it Dr. Detroit's in
No,
Hazard? Oh,
no,
good,
it's,
another place, good.
yeah, no, they do all the race cars and,
Because
Uh,
when I was trying to get the vinyl for the transit, I contacted Dr. Detroit's and they said they would send me an estimate. And then when I hadn't received an estimate and called back, they were like, well, I think that's just gonna be too big of a job for us.
So, yeah.
okay, I'll check on that.
Okay,
All right.
we're gonna move along because I've got Susanna out there and lunches should be along any moment. Susanna's gonna report, Cheryl's seat. There's no change on that. I'm gonna put the names in very soon. Lena's seat on the board. I talked to Madeline. Had a nice long conversation. with her.
Madeline?
And she is, Madeline Flannery, and she is, interested in being a nominee. And I had previously spoken with Harvey and he's interested in being a nominee. And I talked to the lady that Marlene suggested. I'm pulling up her name right now.
She was the sheriff's wife.
Yes, Sharon.
Sheriff.
And Sharon has committed to some things, and adding the library board would be too much. So she's decided to not be put forward as a nominee. So I've got Madeline and Herbie, and if that's okay with you guys, I will submit them.
Sufficient.
Yeah,
Okay,
and any of them would be good.
okay. So
Yeah.
somebody want to make a motion to submit Madeline Flannery and Herbie Smith
I
as
make,
nominees?
I make,
Second,
Motion.
second.
Second. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor, signify by saying aye.
I,
All those opposed, same side. Motion carries. Thank you.
Thanks. Okay, appreciation displays. Legina and I talked about it and I've been thinking about it since then. We've got, I don't want to take up a whole wall when we could put up like signs for programs and things like that. But I think we should have something, and maybe what we need is one place in each branch where we put some kind
Information
of,
board.
some kind of a display that is in appreciation of these people that have been helpful to the library
right,
or worked at the library or was a long time volunteer or long time board member, all sorts of, but I'm thinking.
So in other words, the person like Linda, we'd have to put a statue, right?
oh, definitely, it has to be big enough.
Yes. I'm thinking like a little plaque and, you know, when you go into an art museum, they've got these
Yeah.
little signs that it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
Just something small in,
Well, it recognizes we're here for the people. If the people recognize that these people did extra work, then they should be recognized.
yes, exactly.
Can I say something? You know, Blackfeet has very little wall space. You know, one, I talk like you go into hospitals or things, and then they like boards, and it's like a nice wooden plaque with brass plates.
Yeah.
and their names. You know, something like that that would not take up space, but would recognize folks, because you know, there's no way we've got wall space to put. Once we put our shelves in, put a computer this in.
That's a good idea. Grace, Farm Bureau, each agent's got it's a little plaque about their slide, and then below it, these plaques, and then they have like a connection, like a little chain, and each, as this agent gets, rewards his name, and like in Mark, he's the agency manager, he's got like 20.
Well,
That-
you know,
And we could do that.
it's just like a solid board, just like say, well,
They're just.
There's
spots
one
for names.
downstairs that's similar to that.
Yeah.
So it's like a plaque, and then on the plaque, it's got different brass things. that you
yeah,
can-
that would be a lot.
Yeah.
That's
So-
improvement.
it's like.
Always
Yeah.
room for improvement. Okay.
And it's not, I mean, a plaque is part of my mental planning for this, but I was also thinking like, when we put somebody on the plaque, we also put a photo of them up for a little while with like maybe why they're important to the library system. Just something small. It doesn't have to, we're not gonna take up your whole library.
Well, no, but I'm just thinking, you know, there's a bunch of it going to begin with.
Yeah,
So, you know,
yeah,
Yeah,
I know. We'll get it all figured out. And I don't think it's the kind of thing that we need to spend a huge amount of money on. So,
but it is important to
Yeah.
recognize these people.
yes,
and it's not communities,
Yeah.
leave somebody out in trouble.
yeah, well, that's why I decided we should put it at the libraries, because you know better.
Well,
Than
you know,
I
there's
do.
been, you know, down through the years, like as far as volunteers, there's no way. I can off the top of my head remember.
Not all of
Just
them.
put
just the
since
ones
a
that
certain
are-
time. Maybe since the flood
Let me tell you
would be a
something.
good.
When we were building these libraries, okay, so we had a policy not to name them unless they're the big contributors, okay? So, but because some of these buildings are already being, their names are already being suggested, that it hasn't been, Blackie was going to be da 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 da. And Neon, of
Yeah.
course, was going to be Lillian Ware, da 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 da. And of course, the same thing with Jenkins. So we put down a policy, remember that, Janet, that unless they really contributed financially, okay, Harry Caudill really gave so much contribution to this, so it was named after him. Otherwise, everybody who
Good
thought
idea.
they did something, you know, we are expecting to be there. So, and I wouldn't name names,
because I know some of the names that came up and
Well,
they are worthy.
We could leave it up to the individual library, how they want to do this and what they want to do, because that way,
Mhm.
because each library is going to be different, so we can't.
Yeah, but what I'm saying was the
Yeah.
big names, okay, this is going to, instead of Blanca, this is Senor, Monstro, da, 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 da. So people that you haven't heard before, that especially those who just died, that's the one that they want, especially now. Sometimes you think one is, I know that they probably influence the community, but probably people will get upset if you say this Filipino girl who just invaded the Letcher County and now she tells us what to do. And that's probably true, but I mean, there should be a little significance naming a building.
Somebody.
And some of
I
them are
agree.
employees. And we were paid to do our job with. Okay, so it is a big honor that maybe a room, period, but a whole building. But that's just my piece.
Okay, next item is floodlights.
Floodlights and mini split,
Mini split.
you should have had a copy of this in your packet at the very back. If you don't have that, I've got extras.
Oh, there they
What do you say?
The breeding.
Oh, the
estimates.
breeding. Do I have one? Oh, there you
was that the only.
It may be down here.
Yeah, because they were here fixing stuff and they just threw it together. And because it's under 30,000, we don't have to get bids from other places. And actually the mini split bid is really very reasonable. So what we've asked them to do estimates for are to put 3 basically floodlights on the back of the building, because if you're here after dark,
Mhm.
the city's light in the city's parking lot does not work most of the time. I want people to feel safe when they're leaving here. So their estimate was $6,589. They are gonna have to drill some holes in the back of the building, but I think that'll be okay. And then the HVAC unit is a small mini split for in the elevator mechanical room, which is a requirement of the elevator company coming to do the repair or modernization. And that was $6,726 even.
How much are the inspection fees?
Inspection fees. Dana, the elevator guy, usually comes once every 3 months, and we pay them, I think it's a little less than $600 per quarter. So for every 3 months.
But we also pay them monthly, right?
No.
No, so it's just that
It's every 3 months,
every 3
and it's a little less than $600.
months. It's
Actually-
working, that's the
It's a
thing.
mini split, like heating. and
Yes,
We
it's-
have one
it's-
in our building, we just bought one.
It's temperature
great.
control for the mechanical room.
Yeah, they're very nice.
It is. I
Once
have one in
these
my-
are installed, Alita, just like this HVAC, will that make the elevator work? I mean, is that initially so that we could operate it?
It's a requirement of fixing the elevator, which is actually a modernization. 'Cause they can't fix our 50-year-old elevator
yeah.
hydraulics. We have to have temperature control,
Right.
environmental control in the
Okay, okay.
mechanics.
So that will, that's initial, I mean, that's essential.
It
Oh,
is
yeah.
essential,
Or the elevator won't work.
right?
Okay,
And it's
I
not,
think we really need it, because this elevator has been, that's why you have all kinds of bookshelves, tables, you name it. Somebody
it's-
might get hurt about just tables.
Yeah. It's one of the requirements that we
I
have to
also-
do before they will repair the elevator.
Okay. But you
I
already
know it's
paid
on this
some-
March 23rd, so we've got to look at this meeting.
Yeah, exactly. But did you already
And
pay
sooner than later.
something to the elevator guy, right? The one
Do we
who's
even
coming?
have to
Yeah.
approve it?
Yeah,
We
we
already put
Yeah,
any
yeah.
down payment?
Oh, yes, we put half down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, and still they haven't done anything because of.
They're waiting for the stuff that they
Mhm.
need. They
That
have to
should have
order
been
the
done,
parts specially.
Okay, I need a motion.
Motion to approve.
Okay,
Okay, both,
So that
both-
means-
yeah, I second,
okay,
both of them.
okay. Any discussion, any further discussion? If not, all in favor, signify by saying aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
thank you, that needs.
Announcements.
Announcements. This is our plaque for the Overcoming Obstacles Award.
It's nice. Where are you
Now,
gonna
where you
hang
gonna put
that?
that?
I'm gonna put it over my desk.
Oh,
I don't-
is your office fixed now? Can we
It's-
go in?
You can't go in, but you can look from the doorway.
We
Uh,
need, we
there's
need
a-
to get that straightened out.
There's a table in there that I'm working at now.
But
It's,
it needs to be open. I mean,
it,
all this needs to not be in.
yes. We are working on it. It takes time because I have to do what I have to do right now, plus what's been waiting.
So it'll be fixed by next meeting.
I can't promise that, but I'm gonna
Well,
work
yes, you
on it.
can. Yes, we can do that.
I
I'll
can-
be up here
I
to
will-
help. Because we need to,
The problem with me fixing my office right now is it's storage space.
and we can put
And-
stuff downstairs.
And there are things in there that have to, like, we have document schedules. Like, I have to keep a document for a certain amount of time for the library because of we're a government entity. And those are, I need to have a few days where I can just work in the office and look at the document schedule and see how long I have to keep things. It's not that I don't want my office to be clean. It's that I can't just go through and get rid of stuff and move stuff.
But it can be filed in like file cabinets and
There's a room downstairs that's called bookkeeping room.
Yep.
That's where we put all the personal files, building plans, some canceled checks, everything is there. And
then
it
we
does a
put it-
lot.
then we can put it down there.
Yeah. She can use it. I mean, that's what
I
it
do
is.
use it, but
Yeah.
that's part of what we have to go through with the
Yeah, yeah,
document
yeah.
schedule,
And-
so.
I think we kind of fix it to by boxes by the date, because I didn't want to throw receipts to an annual reports or whatever. So that's a good place and it does a lot, so that we.
I
you
have
know,
one more question before they come in.
Mhm.
How's the FEMA and the
I'm glad you asked that
insurance
question.
stuff going? for the
Um,
libraries? How's all that?
I'm gonna,
Sitting out here.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
fine.
just go ahead.
I'm gonna pass these around and ask you guys to sign them all. And the last one is to Kim Michelle Richardson. I'd like you guys to sign the one to Kim Michelle also. So I had a phone call with FEMA on Thursday, and it was not a very pleasant phone call. We have to have, shoot, I've forgotten what they're called. And I have a note in here somewhere. We have to have, what's it called when they stand out there and they've got the measuring across the road?
Survey.
Yes. We have to have thank you, I'm losing words. We have to have surveys done at the two buildings to see how far into the floodplain they are or above the floodplain.
Two buildings, you mean black and neon?
Blackie and neon, because if they are in the floodplain, we have to have dry flood building measures, which means we have to use we can't use regular flooring or regular drywall or regular windows. They all have to be flood resistant. And we should have been informed of this as soon as the flood happened and as soon as cleanup happened and as soon as I started saying, yeah, we're gonna fix the buildings. And there's a few people in the county government that dropped the ball and did not tell us these things. So I was very upset with them, very upset with FEMA. So I called Kevin and he's got some surveyors that he works with, and he's gonna send them to our two buildings to do the surveying. And we should know very soon how far in the floodplain those two buildings are and what we need to do as far as dry flood repairs, which is what they call them.
That's been the case of FEMA throughout the county, you know, people having problems getting the information they need in time to do it.
Unfortunately, it wasn't FEMA that, I mean, they're the one that broke the bad news. It was actually the county government that dropped the ball this time. Ian, can you sign, please? And then,
Did you all of this?
no, just this one. This is
Okay,
the one
okay,
that's
okay.
going to Kim Michelle Richardson,
Mm,
who has done so much for us. But that's what's going on with, sorry, you asked a question, right? Oh, how things are going with FEMA. I've returned, like, I've sent them all the paperwork that they need every time they ask me.
Here you go. They all have plans. I don't want to stress out the leader, but before they come, see, I still have the dates here of how the construction's going on.
Mhm.
We're past some of them, constructed documents, you're almost ready to be. 419 is advertised for
Mhm.
bids.
That's why they're here today.
Yeah, so owner review and approval of 417, so that's today.
It is.
And that's for Neon, and then for Blackie, 41023 was owner review and approval board meeting special, so we didn't do that yet. Advertised for bids 412, so we didn't do
Those
that
were-
yet. So we're just like, okay, let's get to work.
Yes, those
Yeah.
were the estimates that we were given.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a couple of questions.
I know.
I noticed, while they're signing that, I went through
The policy manual?
policies, and I don't know who put this together, but it seems like it's not really, it's too wordy, number one. It should be simplified, and we're not meeting on the date that they said we are. So I don't know when it was done last time, but it needs to be redone.
Maybe during later.
Yeah, it says we're meeting on
Yeah.
Wednesdays.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
And
Well,
Okay.
Maybe you
Maybe
did
they
meet on
used-
Wednesdays
Maybe
at
I
one
will
time.
do what?
I'm working my way through the policies as they come up. But yeah, I can, if you've got notes on,
I've got lots of.
can I borrow your copy?
Well, let me make a clean copy of my notes, because it's
Okay.
like this,
Okay,
and, but, and I will check on, want to check on the money market certificates, because, as you know, inflation
mhm.
Mhm, It's
there,
4%
it's
now.
going really up, so we need to see our CD.
4%.
Okay, well, Reed's not at the bank anymore. I have the name, the new guy's name is Daryl Sloan. Yeah,
It's
And-
administered.
and
We need to re-sign those.
the signature cards, yes. But I was gonna wait until we had the new person. But anytime you want to go over and do it, like, we can't just add a person after you guys have done new signature cards. Everybody has to go all at once.
Well, let's just wait till you get your new Whitesburg.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means
And I will, I'll need to
Yeah.
send minutes with you that verifies that you are all on the library board, and you'll have to take ID, but yeah.
And our term date should be on there too.
Yes, I can just give, when I give you the minutes that include your names, I can give you the
Have it.
board list that have the term, the ending dates of your terms.
I think, so, do we need approval of put the schedule in the paper?
No, no,
Will be done.
yeah, it'll be done.
Okay.
I'm gonna write myself a note on here. We're gonna take a mini break. You guys can go grab lunches. I'm gonna set up for Susanna and Chip to have projector and screen in here.
And I want to thank the board for all you people have done, really. It's been trying, but you know, we get slowly but surely get through this, and I'm sure that things will get better. They have to. But we've had much about
All right.
You miss,
Thank you. Ed.
it.
We will miss you.
yeah, you miss me, age. Oh, yeah.
You have, I'm sure. I'm gonna mute this, because we're gonna take a mini break.
We will do an